Good evening, this is Nerd Human, and welcome to this, our YOLO run of Rome Total War's Alexander DLC. And it's a YOLO run not only because Alexander, of course, if he dies, the campaign ends with him, but also because this is our 10,000 subscriber special. And what that means is all 10,000 of you will be here today in this campaign, and I will not be training any more men than that. We have 10,000 men to win this campaign, and that is how it works. I say men, of course. There are some females here on the channel. It's about 98% male, but to those of you here, we are here to conquer the known world. So we are going to be playing on large scale, by the way. I generally prefer large. It's much better balance for the game, and particularly the cities, but huge would actually make this kind of ridiculous. I don't know how possible that would be. We're trying to have fun here today. It will be on very hard, but this isn't so much a challenge run so much as a little fun, little bit of recognition for all 10,000 of you as we launch our campaign here today. Now, I do have some modding guides for this. If you're interested, I'll talk about those if and when they're relevant, such as India, for example. India will be in this. It should be an interesting one. We'll see how it all goes, but for now, I think we should just head on into battle.
Following the death of Philip II of Macedon, his 20-year-old son, Alexander, has taken the throne. A victory at Chaeronea had united Greece under Philip's banner, but in the confusion following his death, unrest is rife. Alexander must crush this dissent quickly. Only once this is achieved can he look to carry through his father's plan to strike at the mighty Persian Empire. With the all-powerful Persian fleet patrolling the waters to the south, Alexander will need to pick his moment carefully. Securing coastal settlements will deny the Persian ships the ability to refit, eventually lessening their effectiveness. But Alexander cannot spare the men to garrison such settlements too heavily, and it may be necessary to slaughter those who might otherwise rise up against him. To achieve his objective within his lifetime, Alexander will need to maintain his momentum as he drives into the heart of Persia. Reinforcements will take months to arrive, so he must recruit local mercenaries to bolster his ranks. In order to proclaim himself the rightful king of Asia, Alexander must control 10 key cities within the given turns.
Here we are then with the magnificent Tom Alexander, only aged 20 years young. Indeed, he's looking pretty darn good for that age, but we're going to have to do some good work to keep him alive. In terms of our current troop count, by the way, if we go on our list scrolls, we can count it up. We are around about 2,800 odd right now. That will include these the admirals over here. Unfortunately, 180 soldiers being used up there. We're going to have to make good use of that, I would suspect. Nonetheless, I think we can do this, but it's going to be an interesting one. We need to focus on some high quality in our towns. Now, to start with, I'm going to grab a port because we're going to need some economy, but yes, we do need to start thinking about money pretty darn quickly. Now, if we do take a quick look at our finances, we are losing money very quick indeed. We have big armies and not a lot of territory right now. You might notice, though, that yes, some of our enemies have awfully large sets of territories, and indeed Syria are pretty much as strong as us right now. Nonetheless, you might notice that I've actually added the proper colours in on this game. We've got Thrace in blue, we've got Syria in orange, we've got, well, Illyria just in the original brown, and we got Dahi over here in Persian, or Parthian pink, as they do become Parthia in time. But okay, we have all of this to conquer, and how are we planning on doing it? Well, as I say, we're going to need to get ourselves some very good quality units. The blacksmith is going to help us out with that. We, as I say, are not going to be retraining any of these. Well, we can retrain, but we're going to add that into our numbers, so I've got to keep a close look on that. That could be fun. Bit of background maths for you. As I say, the animals are going to be included here, and I don't want Barmanian to get stuck in this battle here. This is normally what you do at the start. Go and try and smash this up as quick as possible. Probably hire up a load of the mercenaries, but we don't want to be doing that. Well, actually, we might well want a few, but before we get to that, let's just take a quick reminder of what our units look like. So in our army barracks, we get our basic hoplites. Nice indeed. We got the high pacifists, which are really hard to pronounce, so I'll probably give them a stupid name at some point in this campaign. But yes, the missile attack of 12, very nice indeed. And then we have the phalangists, who get experience 1 at the highest tier. kind of numbers ready, numbery pikemen, which isn't ideal when we've only got 10,000 of you loyal people here, but we're going to make you as strong as possible. Fear not, because you are high quality subscribers. So we're going to do our best to give you the armour that you here deserve. Now, alright, we need to decide our opening moves. Now, I should point out that diplomacy is slightly buggered. I have set up this game in order in order that the game is slightly more balanced than normal, in the sense that normally all of the barbarian factions are told not to attack Persia at any time, to make sure that the player as Alexander has to do all the work. Now, I've tried to neutralise that, but what's weirdly happened is everyone's turned to allies. Not really sure why. It's fine, having done a few little practice games. In the first few turns, pretty much everything turns to total war immediately. Now, on that note, we do have other factions here. Here is India. Say hi to India. They are actually connected to the map. Ooh, unlike in the original game, where this settlement is entirely empty and they never bothered putting India into the game, which I assume was originally the plan, but I assume they cut it because this entire DLC is all a little bit weakly put together. All the Barb factions are of the same units, for example. Nonetheless, they can now get there with this little pass and the river crossing, and down in the south as well. Very nice indeed. There are other openings I've left. Normally you'd have to just go the exact route that the game forces you to, but now I've left little openings in the trees. We have a river crossing up the north of the Caspian there. So yeah, a few more options here or there around the map. Also east of Ternay over here, there's a river crossing too. So yeah, a lot more options for all of us when we spread forward in our campaign. But as I say, Parmeneon, no, so you do not want to be moving off in that direction. Now, I should point out the rest of our units aren't very diverse either in terms of our stables, but we do get a few different units, basic like Gav, with the fattest man that has ever existed in ancient Greece. But there we go. Powerful charge because of his sheer denseness. There we are. We'll try and, as I say, hire the fancy lads as much as possible. Some Thracian javelin cav, nice to have, but not going to be what I opt for. Allied cavalry, nice enough, but we'll of course be wanting companions, as many companions of good old Thomas as possible. That is going to be our plan. And as for our final thing, the missiles, we get some agrarian javelin men. I'm going to call them agrarian javelin men because that's just easier as far as I'm concerned. So that's all we get, to be honest. Not an awful lot. Nothing like chariots over here with the foundry, but we can get a foundry. That's something. As for temples, by the way, we have Demeter for farming. We have Zeus for general happiness. Artemis for the weapons. I think that's currently in our capital. And then we have Ares for the experience. That would be very nice if we can get some of that set up. We're going to want to train anything we can in that settlement with that temple there. So we'll work on that one in time. On the note of the capital, by the way, we will, of course, just rename it Tom from Pella for now. We can come up with a better name. Actually, I know what I had an idea to do. We're going to go and name some of these after some of my most loyal subscribers. There we go. So yeah, Sparta can be renamed after our top tier patron, Jimothy, who's currently a little bit rebellious. Get yourself sorted out, lad. But Jimothy over there can hopefully build us some good troops. Only in minor city right now, so I might need to think about this carefully where I dump down some of my key infrastructure temples. Something like Issus, yeah, that might be a good place to really be pumping out the troops later because it's already quite big. So that's what we want to be doing. Maybe it's like Issus and Tyre are going to be our kind of bases. Maybe that's where we get our big temples for Artemis and indeed for whoever the Doom one just was who's going to give us all of the death experience. So Alexander. We do want to probably go and take on Byzantium straight away because our economy is in the toilet. So we want to go sort that out. I will get a diplomat. He does indeed count to our numbers, as do these spies. An assassin wouldn't be terrible, but it's quite a lot of money that we don't really have. But we'll have to accept that. Could we, in theory, disband if we want to hire up new troops? You know what? I think that in some ways that is retraining, but maybe we'll go to that if we have to, because I kind of like the idea that everyone is just what they are, really. Yeah, go and pick which unit you are right now. Tell me in the comments. Are you Companion Cav? Are you a Hoplite? Or are you one of our agrarian javelin men? It's okay. You're all important to us here in this army. In fact, we don't have any missiles at all, so Actually, the javelin men might be very, very important indeed. On that note, this is where Parmeneon is going to be quite helpful for us, because there are some immortals over here with their missiles. You might see them actually on our Pontus livestream campaign where I modded them in. That was nice, good fun. Persian infantry, we're not interested in those, but the Persian scythe chariots, 18 soldiers. That is a lot of bang for your buck, so we're getting them. Could go for slingers, but I'm not that bothered by it. I'll hire up Cretians or other people if I can. Now the Phrygians, different type of infantry for us, very powerful. I'm going to grab some of them too. So that's a bit of our money, but they are pretty darn cheap. But they're not cheap in terms of numbers necessarily. Phrygians are nice though, with only 18 men, 120 on the Immortals. Okay, bear that in mind. That brings our numbers to just over 3,000. I'll have to count that specifically in a moment. We don't need to worry about that too much for now, because we're only at 3,000 rather than 10,000. It's the early days of the channel here, everyone. If you've joined at this point, if you're in this part of the army, glory to you. Do tell me in the comments below when you join the channel. I can see the public subscriptions and the list there. I know James Tanner is the earliest subscriber I have public access to the name of. I do remember that one coming through, so when I see a comment from him, I do make note of it, because I know he is the first person. He wasn't basically me or my then partner to subscribe to the channel. So there we are. But alright, we're going to get ourselves sorted here. I think we probably just want to spend whatever money we've got, just get things queued up. So blacksmith and port queued up. You... shipwright. Money. Give me the money. And as for you, sir, we're going to get you across over to Byzantium. Now, of course, we will soon be naming this Tonzantium, but for now, we cannot worry about that. I'm going to say Illyrian Fort. Do we want to go and put that under siege? Probably yes, actually. So, maybe what we want to do is grab some of our men. Jimothy, you need to get that under control. Can we get them out? We can get them out, that's absolutely fine. Which suggests we can probably get one more out of there. Yeah. It's just a miserable place in general. That's absolutely fine. Alright, Stratty Horse is going to bring himself around here. Now, the problem I've got with this one is I'm hoping they don't sally out. I'm just going to siege them out. That's really the plan here. And you, sir, are going to stand over here as well. And go hide over there, but we're just going to put it under siege. That'd be absolutely magnificent. Same goes over here. They do indeed have a big army standing there. I thought they might. Okay, that's good to know, but they're currently my allies, so won't worry about that. Fine. Alright, we're going to try and work our way around these lads. So I'm just going to plot myself over here for now and see if we get ourselves an opportunity on the end turn. So I will turn off the fog of war, by the way. It's just to give you an introduction to the map and show you around if you don't indeed already know it. As I say, we've opened things up, so this should be interesting. And I'm hoping the diplomacy falls apart in a matter of a turn or two. It should do. It should be the rebels that muck up diplomacy, because they will almost certainly rebel over here in Bactria in about 2 turns' time. Neoptolemus of Piraeus wants to join our merry band of men. Welcome, sir. Welcome. 24 pretty decent cavalry. Certainly will be taking that. Now, we're out of money, unfortunately, already, as you might well expect. We will send our diplomat over just to potentially go have a chat with these guys in a moment. In the meantime, though, let's get our spy out in this direction. Let's get a few troops over here. Yeah, that'll be good. And... ooh, actually, yeah, we could try and sneak on into the city. So normally at the start of the game, you can just overwhelm these factions and retrain, but we obviously want to keep everyone as alive as possible. So we're just trying to make this as sensible as we can. So Alexander's just going to hang out here for a turn or two. India declared war on the rebels. Absolutely fine. We're going to stick with our rebel friends. No one else right now. India, Macedon. We've just lost our alliance, but Jimafai is going to grab us more spies. Very, very nice indeed. Now, what we want to do here is I actually just piled on another couple of spies before we finish. I had 1,000 monies left, so I thought we might as well throw it all into spies and try and open these guys up. We can just dance around them. It'll be absolutely magnificent. A bit of port is good. One loves a good sipple of port in the evening, and we're going to need all the port that we can get. So yes, another turn here. Should just set us up where we want to be. So, Scythia and the rebels. We're going to stick with the rebels. Very nice indeed. That means Syria Macedon are gone. And Scythia transgression, because we sided with their enemies. It's probably quite reasonable, to be honest, sir. Okay, now this guy's just hanging out where we don't want him right now. Which is a bit of a shame, but it means that we can get another spy into the area. Because if it needs to be a race, we can make it a race. That just wouldn't be the way I'd want to do it. But it could be the way that it works. I'm going to inform these guys that we're no longer friends, by the way. They've probably guessed that by now. But we're just going to let them know properly. So we'll send we'll keep our ships here because we're not actually at war with these guys. We're technically allies. It is kind of funny. Rebels declare war in Persia. We're going to side with the rebels. Sorry, lads. That's just how this goes. And, ooh, very interesting indeed. Very interesting indeed, actually. They've gone and left Epidamis completely, well, nearly completely empty. Very nice. And we have several spies. To hope, ooh, one die. That is not good for us. But let's just send another one in. Okay, 33% chance. Not terrible. We'll have to see if we get lucky here. Now I'm just going to leave these cav behind. We're gonna have a go at going in. No, sadly not. So not made it. But this cav is here as someone who's going to get in the way, as you might would have imagined. Their job is to just block things off. Same with this guy over here. Yes. So your job is to go there? Yeah, you get yourself over there. And we're just going to besiege them. They'll attack us, almost certainly, but that's fine. I think it will be okay. An awful lot of messages here, by the way. Parplot Alliance in tatters. That's Illyria and Thrace. Interesting. Illyria Dahe and Macedonia Illyria. It doesn't really matter because Dahe will be dead before long. Abraeus the Black. That's our first death, by the way. If you chose to be Abraeus the Black, you are now a dead man. I'm sorry. But Bacchus of Amphipolis, we're doing very well indeed. Okay, so I'm going to have to keep track of that actually. Let me go from a notepad. -1 spy. We have lost Anman. Okay, Persia, Macedonian, we've lost our alliance. Okay, fine. Spy recruited. So we pretty much used up all of our early money here. We've got the Council Chambers complete in Jimothy, which is good because we need to get any money we can. Still miserable. Useless, lad. Useless. Nonetheless, Pomeroy probably could spin Tom here, making sure that the population is as happy as possible. But, you know what, we will go and do that. We will go and do that for the time being, but we'll probably be back in a turn or two anyway. Probably. Should have been doing that before now. Interesting there. Thrace heading up north. And we didn't get anything from these. Didn't even sally forth. That's very surprising. I thought they would at least sally forth. Okay. Now, we can keep these rebel friends here afterwards. We don't need to worry about actually just killing them. But we do need to head on in with Alexander. That's absolutely true. So, what do we need to take out here? We've got Prusias, the faction leader, absolutely magnificent. Barbarian Spearman, Barbarian Sickleman. All right, these guys are very nice. It's a shame that we don't have these in the main game. We'll have to bring them over for some campaign at some point. It could be an awful lot of fun. All right, into our first battle then. You, Steve McGee, get yourself over to Byzantium, soon to be Tomzantium, and we'll make our way there. Into our first battle then. Hopefully we don't lose too many men, but we are basically missile-less. We've got a few javelins, and that's about it. They don't have missiles though, so hopefully we can make light work of it. Let's head on in. In we go to battle then, and immediately we're going to just get the doors cracked open here. Some hoplites going to help us out. If they're not going to actually stop us, we'll just drop this because we want to be able to not worry about spending money healing up walls because we're not going to ever be able to. So we'll leave these javelin men here just to do some damage if we need to. But to be honest, it looks like it's going to be simple enough strolling into the city. Well, I was about to say the barbarian spearmen have turned up, but they are immediately running away, which is amusing, to be honest, because it's just a single unit of hoplites that were standing there at the time. But we'll now get everyone into the city and hopefully continue to march on. No one's been killed randomly yet. Maybe I shouldn't have picked chariots, actually. I just remembered we hired chariots. It's a terrible idea when we're trying to keep people alive. But anyway, we'll see how they do. We'll use them sparingly. After about 15 years of setup, it looks like they're finally going to come on in. Some of you might well be dead very soon. Cavalry, come on in. Some javelins probably going to hit us in the back. But I'm sorry, Steve, you're just going to have to take it. 13, 14 of you have died. But hopefully some of you can repair yourselves from those javelins. Yeah, we're getting more and more in here. That's absolutely fine. Keep pressing into them. You guys just hang out. Mr. Red Cloaks, no, 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 no. You stay where you are, my good noble sirs. We are losing men here. About 50 of you dead. Oh no. Bodyguard. Go in there, sir. Get in there, Mr. General. You see just the charge of Thomas. And immediately they run away. They're scared bastards. Yes, indeed. They're gone. Down goes their general. And with that, all should be fine and dandy like lemon candy. Okay, that's fine. You 60, get yourselves forward once more. Unfortunately, they got caught with the one man on the side here, which does make them a little bit more vulnerable. So it is what it is. Alright, you get yourselves in here as some kind of reservist. More of you gonna die to the general? Ooh, only a couple, all is grand. Alright, get these guys forward. Really, it's about the javelins kind of coming to do their work. What I wanted to do, if they weren't so aggressive, was just to stand here and throw them the javelins. That's what we're going to do. We've got some more reinforcements coming over there. Let's hopefully poke and javelin the infantry to death. If any of these are you, let me know which of them it is. Some lovely shields will send you home to your misses, to your misters, to your mothers, to all of the above, really. And unfortunately we lost some, we didn't lose any horses. They lost the horses. Thomas, what do you want about? All is fine. Speed this up. Speed this up. So with our high pacifists in position, we're going to throw in some javelins at the sickle men. That'll be lovely. We have quite a few javelins. It's actually a pretty darn nice unit. Can't argue with that. Now, as they run on in, we just run back behind the lines. Run back behind the... Run back. Run. Oh, there we are. Yay! We're going to have to press and turn in battle every time possible. Okay. We've lost some men here. So yes, 39 and 18. Fine. Absolutely. That's not too bad, to be fair. Was it 58 men? Could be worse. In case you're wondering, by the way, 10 of our phalangists did manage to get themselves healed. And actually, looking at the numbers here, yeah, 57, not 58. 57 of you, which does mean that I don't think we managed to kill any of our own units with javelins. That's their kills, not ours. Very nice. A glorious victory, but unfortunately the game did crash there, which is going to make the exact numbers a bit awkward. So I've just done an auto-resolve. I've lost some companions this time. It's fine. We'll keep the original numbers. We will be like retraining units and what as we go along until we get up to 10,000. And if you die along the way, we'll be replaced by new subscribers. We'll just mop you under the carpet. But okay, that is something to bear in mind. Illyria are gone. Good Greek courage has laid low these enemies. Lovely stuff. And the Furies have been unleashed. Okay, yes indeed. Lots and lots of doom has been announced. Fine. Mildly annoying because it means that I've now lost some of my good units and went to retrain for a while. But realistically, they won't matter too much. I don't think anyway. Alright, it's fine. So I'm going to say... Parmeneon, you're a decent enough general. You're the new young lad who isn't that young, to be honest. We're going to get you back into Toma, and I'm going to say, to be honest, just leave one javelin man behind, but otherwise we probably just need to get as many people as possible moving onwards, because yeah, there isn't actually much to do around here. I'll leave those high passes behind, so I guess we will for the time being. We'll just leave whatever we can over hither to keep them happy. Low tax rate will probably do the job. We'll send people around over time. So we'll send out a diplomat, send out our spies, and all will be absolutely fine. Yeah, we'll just have to... Alright, we're going to get everyone moving eastward over to Byzantium, obviously. We're going to go take them over in a turn or two, but for the time being, yeah, we're just going to get everyone moving this direction as quick as possible, because we're not going to getting in any more units or any more infrastructure, and I've just realised they're now blocking our boats off, which is bad news. Let's just keep an eye on what they're doing, because this is actually currently a perfect situation. Once again, we're going to stick with our rebel friends when it comes to diplomacy matters. Now, this guy's hanging out here. Got a couple mercenaries as well, interestingly. Step horsemen, very nice unit indeed. Now, alliance and tactics between Dahe and Macedon. That's of interest. So is the lack of anything, by the way, over in this part of the world. So I'm going to send one of my spies across. And I want to get really close eye on if I can ever just waltz on into Halicarnassus. So yes, you sir, didn't mean to click on that, but Bacchus is still alive despite my clicking. Okay, I'm going to send the boats over here because that could be very interesting indeed. If we can find a moment to just sneak on in, that would be lovely. But be very careful how we attack these guys. We're going to lose a lot of men when we do that, but I think we might well find some good opportunities. Maybe we need to start getting the boats, sending out the spies in a moment. It's useful for taking out these guys, for Scythia as well, but it'd be good to know what's going on with our friends over here. We're going to give this one more turn, I would say. Parmenion's going to come down here. We're still technically allies of these guys, but I don't suspect they think we are, to be honest. Alexander's going to go stand on his border as Parmenion, but he's technically going to the boats. Don't worry about him. So the Persians continually go and attack those rebels, which means that it's open. It is open this turn if I can try and nibble my way in, and so's this actually. Okay, get in there, get in there. Alright, 2 spies, neither of you died, that's grand, so anyone who told me that they want to be the spies, you're in a good place. Now, as for these guys, ooh. Now, defending the city is not the worst plan in the world, actually, so let's just do the same thing again. I want to keep the cavalry safe, though. I want to keep these cavalry very helpful. These guys are just going to be awkward, Cav. That's fine. Come on! Oh, let's not attack ally. Let's just cancel the alliance officially. That'll be absolutely magnificent. And now we'll attack them! Ah, that was so much more honourable. Annoyingly, we haven't cracked our way in once again. Now, he can certainly make it back, but what we want to do is make it as awkward as possible. So, let's get him... Let's just make sure he can't use the road. And you just a bit further off the road, because that should hopefully pull him maybe just there. Just there's good. We can just cause him some problems. So that'll be absolutely fine. You get on the boats and get us just about here. And that's not too bad. You get in there. Can we sneak in? 32% chance. We actually can't move anymore. Can our cav do this? It's just a general. In theory, yes. And we didn't get him. That's unfortunate. That's very unfortunate. But it is what it is. We gave it a go and it's not going to work. Get 4 ladders. If they don't come back, we can take it. But we had to start this war at some point, and that was as good a time as any. We need the money, damn it. Now this is the end turn that I wanted to happen. Here we've got our 2 cavalry completely safe. He has not made it back in time. Now we still need to crack on in against all of these guys. We're going to lose some men doing it, but it's okay. And by the way, Halicarnassus is absolutely free for us to take. Now I might just opt here for the auto-resolve, but ooh, I'm sorry to those of you who just died. As a general rule, auto-resolve, not a bad idea against a single general, but it still didn't fancy us too much. 87 deaths, but an extermination, and not a terrible place to be right now. Maybe it's a terrible place since it's on fire, but ignoring the fire, it's not a bad place to be, damn it. Okay, so get you into there as well. Good old Bacchus, doing a great job. Thank you to anyone called Bacchus in the comment section. I'm just going to assume there's someone. And otherwise, Wonder Captive, by the way, once again, wasn't even at Halicarnassus. And, okay. It's not going to be too helpful anytime soon, but at some point it might well be of use to us. In the meantime, though, let's finish off this this beginning here. By the way, just in case you're wondering, probably just a mini-series. I would say like 4 episodes, but I think we'll finish off today by making sure we take out Thrace as well as Illyria. So, having wangled our way around, now the gate's open. Of course it is. Let's head on in. The game really fancies a chance. It always does when the gates are open. It should mean that they're split up, which might make them easier to pick off. Poor farmer. Oh dear, so these are beautiful, beautiful lands. Better take them off you. So, yeah, a bit of extra armour on them. They've got the missiles. I need to be careful with those archers. But we do have, presumably, longer range than theirs. I think the Immortals might have longer range. I can't remember. Anyway, we'll head on in. We'll clear them out. In we go to battle then, and it should be said that we are not in a terrible position with all of these gates open. Now, really, there is no gate on this side, which is where our rams were left, which isn't the worst position for the ram in many ways. Nonetheless, we're going to go and send me on into battle. This can only go really well. Definitely not going to die. I'm at the back anyway, apparently, so all will be absolutely fine and dandy. Let's just send my merry men through. They can be healed automatically. Where are you going? Oh, we've just lost some men for no reason. Oh, for Pete's sake. Anyway, that's always going to happen. I slightly mucked up who was in what particular section of the battlefield. Just get the general to pile on through. Thank you very much. Right, these guys are fighting them. We hopefully have to have the surround on at this point. Don't need to lose too many. We lost 7 men over there. That was unnecessary, wasn't it? But in general, not the worst start here. Yes, we're going to have them mopped up with only the 1 loss over here. That is perfect. What are we doing over in this part of the world, by the way? Should be throwing in some javelins. So start throwing them in, chappies. Start throwing them in. I think that's why the other unit got caught in there. Supposed to be doing this job. So yeah, in come the javelins. That's perfect. You just get yourselves running on in if they're going to run away. There we go. That's fine. You run into that position. These javelin men will cover you as that happens. What have they got there? That's the bodyguard. That's not ideal. There's my general, by the way, is just running to the plaza. That's not the bodyguard, but it is some of the other men. To get myself organised. All of you, get yourselves over here and into the city, please. Barbarian spearmen are indeed going to come at us. That's absolutely fine. They're going to get themselves javelined in the rear. Very, very nice indeed. So we will take a few losses here, but it should be pretty minimal. Let's go and get these infantry starting to pile on in. Their little charge of the cav here should be good work. Get on top of them. They do unfortunately have some good defence on them. Just get the cavalry just to kind of plough through. They are spears. There we go. Yeah, that's absolutely fine. You lads, get yourself over here. No more throwing your javelins, because otherwise you'll just start killing us. Not a terrible beginning. Then we mopped up these guys over on this flank. At this gateway we've got, yeah, all of that dealt with too. Everyone just shuffling into position. And by the way, something that's quite annoying about this game, if I, for example, double click on the Scythe chariots, yes, it will swim me across. The moment I move my mouse even slightly, it decides to just stop, which is quite irritating. Before it would swing you around if you did that. But there we are, with the annoying things on Alexander for some particular reason. Let's get ourselves organised. Well, we are in about as good a position as we could possibly be in at this point. These guys are doing plenty of wingle-wangling. I think it's a technical term. They're going to shoot their arrows up and over all of this. Hopefully pull these guys into a battle. We're in a good position over here as well, by the way. Should be able to throw in some nice javelins. He's actually going to come this way. Interesting. Very interesting. Okay, it's going to cause us some damage, but it is what it is. I'm actually going to send Thomas over here. Thomas, get yourselves over here. That'll be absolutely fine and dandy. You get yourselves a little bit around that corner. Thank you very much. Thomas a little bit quicker. Oh, he's coming straight for the middle. Don't do that, you fool. Oh, I'm going to get myself killed now. Thomas! Thomas! Thomas, just pull back. It's fine. So yes, he's now DED dead. That's good news. We can hopefully not lose too many more while we use our kind of classic archer tactics here. So yeah, Mr. Archers, do your job. Maybe start shooting these guys instead. They're going to walk into javelin range. Not quite. Thomas, you don't want to be seen to be running away from the enemy. That wasn't too clever. But anyway, all is absolutely fine. We've got a few more Hypapists over here. By the way, Thomas, bring them into the edge of the fray. But yes, I think we managed to deal with their initial charges here pretty darn well. We've obviously lost a few men, but it's not too shabby, all things considered. We will, though, lose a few more with this old charge here. In comes their king's retinue. Ooh, this guy got all the way through there, and we threw lots of javelins into the back of our head. So the king is routing once more. These guys... Okay, that's not how you archer. Not how you archer at all. Missiles have done their job on enemy king, who I thought was dead, but apparently was just fleeing before. I'm very, very clever, it turns out. Okay, well, you know what, lads? You might as well stand at the front here, because That was as good as done, really. So just stand there and start shooting people down. Barbarian swords, only 7. What are they doing? They do like to keep wandering, don't they? These guys are going to rat. Why are they running at them? They can't. They think they have. I think they have the issue that the Peeler have on the Romans. I think I remember this now. Yeah, because when they shoot, they decide they're immediately going to charge. They actually don't have very many missiles at all. Just leave them on fire at will, and we'll do as much damage as we can. At this point, we should basically be able to deal with these hoplites. As soon as they arrive, they'll be shaken, wavering. Come on! One more volley should do it, but it looks like, yeah, basically these guys are going to arrive just about in time. There's the victory. We'll end the battle there. They've killed 51. We've lost a little bit more than that by the looks of it. So yeah, 45 and another 15 for 60 men lost there. Not the worst result, to be honest. You can't really complain about it. And no casualties for good old Tom Alexander. Pretty good job all around. Victory and glory for us then. Byzantium falls into our hands, and of course we will be naming it as such. It's not Alexantium, no, it is the Grand Byzantium. If you are one of the patrons, by the way, we have some cities on offer. So any members of the channel, you get first dibs. We're going to have more than members in terms of this map, to be fair. So maybe I'll go to, yes, most commentators. I don't know, maybe the longest viewers. If you comment on this, wanting the city in their name, do let me know in the comments. Yes, and I'll find a way to pick some of you out. But anyway, the race has been destroyed. Beautiful stuff. That's very good news indeed. War has been declared between Darhae and Scythia. Alright, that's interesting. The Furies have been unleashed on Halicarnassus, and the Furies have been unleashed upon Byzantium. At this point, we have only used up 9 turns. Not too bad. We are still losing just a tiny, tiny sliver of money. The rebels are our friends, which is good, and otherwise, yes, I think next time we're going to have to try and hold on to Halicarnassus, which might be a problem because there's a lot of armies coming this way. You might be dead, sir. But anyway, we're going to do our best to try and hold off as we can. Now, in the meantime, while that's happening, we can try and do a Scythia and just get ourselves a bit of an economy. It might be... Now, the better plan of Halicarnassus is just to get out of here, actually. So maybe this one isn't an option for people. But, yes, you know, as I say, members, let me know which towns you fancy and what you'd rather them be called. Or if you just like any particular name, do let me know. But as I say, I can take some other suggestions as we go forward. I will put the members at the top of the city naming list. Nonetheless, this is our 10,000 subscriber special. I'm going to toss up how many people have died. We lost a spy. We lost 57 at Apodaris, so lost 60 at Byzantium, and Halicarnassus, was that 86? I'm going to have to go back for the footage for that. But anyway, we've lost about 200 here today. 200 of you brave subscribers have fallen to take these 3 cities. Not a terrible start. I don't know how that looks going forward, but there's an awful lot of Persians to take care of. We might have to be clever with some of our pounces there. So we will see about that. But for now, I will leave you. We're going to have this Monday, Thursday. As I say, probably it's going to be like a 4-parter. But yes, I will leave you for now. I'm Thomas, listeners here, and this has been a YOLO run of Rome towards Alexander. Thank you very much, and tally-ho. Welcome to Babylon, which is empty. Oh, Steve's dead. Bit of a shit. Makes me a bit sad about it all. It's okay, guys. This is what it's about. Oh, they turned their backs. We did actually break them with a charge. Exceptional. How are we doing this? They may take our armies, but they'll never take our spies.